Question boggling the minds of today's great philosophers, and that question is, what if the hokey pokey really is what it's all about? And it is. I'm here today to tell you, putting your whole self in is what it's all about. We start that way as children, and kids love the hokey pokey. They're all in on the hokey pokey. But we grow up, and over time, we lose that childlike innocence and wonderment, and life becomes more complicated, and so does our approach to it. And before you know it, we've unlearned the principle of putting ourselves in. But organizations who are full of people who are living all in, those organizations cut through red tape, they break down silos, and they build relationships internally and externally. And I'm here today to show you how you can do that too. There are 5 strategies in the book called Put Your Whole Self In, Life and Leadership, the Hokey Pokey Way. We'll go through them quickly today, and you can see the book later, or if you'd like a copy, let me know. The first strategy to live all in is give all. We are too stressed by wearing too many hats for different groups. And how do you figure out which hat you're wearing with different people? Who gets which body parts if all your body parts aren't all in? So when you leave your house in the morning, do you decide, my family gets my heart, so my heart is staying home? I'm not bringing it to work. I don't love those people. I don't love the customers. In fact, this job would be perfect if it wasn't for the customers. At work, they can have my hands. Then by the end of the day, I'm tired. I can't bring my hands home. I'm done using those for the day. So at home, I'm just bringing love, and that's it. Can you do that at home? No. The trick is be all in wherever you are. Greatest example of that, or a great example of that, is Tom Block. His father and uncle founded H&R Block, the tax preparation company. Tom Block grew up working in that company, worked there 20 years, and became the CEO of the organization. And he realized one day he was not all in. So he got out. And he took a job that would make him feel all in. He became an inner city middle school teacher. CEO to a middle school teacher. And he says, actually after 5 years of being that teacher, he's so all in, he didn't even stay doing that. He co-founded one of the most successful charter schools in the whole country. That's an all-in person. And he says he's all in because life is not about money and power. He's had those, he tells me. Life is about finding your calling and following your heart. That's all in. So finding your calling is strategy number 2. See beyond. See beyond your tasks. See beyond what you do every day. See beyond what's facing you at each moment. What are you really doing? Is a realtor selling houses or uniting a family? Is an architect designing a building or creating a cathedral? Is a pilot flying a plane? Or is a pilot bringing people home from the war, uniting families? What do you do every day? Think about the beyond. See the bigger picture. Be all in, give all, see beyond. The third one is to notice others. Be aware of the world going on around you. Do you ever show up for work in the morning and it's 2 or 3 hours in and you haven't even spoken to the person next to you? You might have emailed them, but we haven't even talked to the people we see all the time. My brother and his wife have 6 kids. They text each other all the time at their house. It's a crazy world. It's tough to pay attention if you're never seeing people. And then we live our lives looking over people, overlooking people. It's tough to build relationships unless you're seeing and paying attention. Don't you have a million examples in your own life of salespeople who don't hear what you're saying. I had one recently going to buy a car. We all have those at the car dealership, right? Going to buy a car. My primary concern when I buy a car is, where is the drink holder? You know, back a long time ago, you had to leave way down. I don't think that's a good idea. Can I plug in my iPod, and where does my drink go? Diet Coke or coffee or something as my beverage. But the salesperson starts talking to me about engines and motors and gas mileage. And, you know, I run a small business. I go around Kansas City. I'm not driving 70,000 miles a year. I'm pretty good. He never asked at all what my concern was. Do you do that when you're talking to people? We get our idea of what we want to talk about, and we go right to that. We don't hear what they're saying. Tough to build relationships that way. Notice others. Marty talked a little bit earlier about this secret. And I was panicking for a second. I thought, what if she loved that or something? But she said on there is no secret. And there's no secret. I can guarantee one thing. If you're seated and you're a lazy boy in your living room and you envision your fancy Lamborghini, you're not getting a fancy Lamborghini. You have to get out of that lazy boy and go do stuff to earn that fancy Lamborghini, if that's your choice. The vision is not enough. The fourth strategy to live all in is to move forward. Move forward. No wallowing, whining, or wondering about the past. Move forward. And the funniest thing is, we are built to do just that. Take a look at the people at your table. Do they have eyes? It looks like everybody has eyes. And where are they? The eyes are in the front. Because we're going that way. The only people with eyes in the back of their head are teachers. But very conveniently, they have them in the front too. They're going that way. Move forward. And as you move forward, strategy number 5 is to enjoy now. Don't wait to find joy until the kids are grown, or the debt is paid, or the house is paid off, or the house is clean. There is a reason to celebrate and appreciate every day. Find that reason. Another great example of that is the roastery in town. Are you familiar with the roastery? You may know a little bit about their story, but they're all in all the time. Every one of them. Even their coffee hunter. He's called a coffee hunter that goes around the world to go to the farms to find the best coffee he can find. He's all in. And he brings that back to the organization, to the company, so they can be all in. And in one farming community, they're all in so much they pay 4 times more than commercial coffee companies pay for the coffee in that farming community. Why would they do that? Because they know business is about more than the profit. It is about being all in. They have helped that community, that farming community. They built a school there. You see, when that coffee hunter went down there, he found out they couldn't farm enough. They couldn't get enough beans because the women couldn't work. They had to stay home. Now, it wasn't a cultural thing. They had to stay home because their kids had no school. There was no place for the children to go. The roastery helped them build a school in that community. The mothers can work while the kids are at school. They can still be home when the kids are done for their day. They helped that community so much. The CEO, Danny O'Neill, you might know him too, he told me that he realized they're probably able to move on from that community, although they still want the coffee beans from there, but they don't need to help that school as much because the school came to him and asked him for band uniforms last year. So they're probably doing all right. They're all in. There are examples of that all around. All in is not hard. Children had it right. They lived life a more simple way. Return to that by being all in all the time. All right, so let's try it again. Are you with me? Do you want to be all in, or do you want to half weigh it? Let's be all in. Stand up and let's do the hokey pokey one time. All in loud. Bring out your inner child. I'm going to start calling names, so let's go. We're going to put our whole selves in. Are you ready? Yeah. Put your whole self in. Louder. Put your whole self in and shake. Woo! Do the hokey and turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Yay! That is what it's all about. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.